We need to look at the corporate social responsibility considerations when we implement change. But to do that, we better go back to an earlier topic and look at what corporate social responsibility is. So it's a big definition, but we said it's the commitment by the business to do a few things. One, go above and beyond its legal obligations. So just the legal obligations are the bare minimum. Just because they're there, that doesn't mean we have to do that level or that standard. We can go above and beyond that. So for example, with wages, there's a minimum wage, or we could go above and beyond that. Or if we're making cars, there's a level of fuel efficiency a car has to meet in order to be sold in Australia. Well, we go above and beyond that. What else? It's a commitment by the business to conduct its business in an ethical manner, to do the right thing. That might mean we take responsibility not just for the economic sort of impact of our business, but also the social and environmental consequences of our activities. And lastly, it basically means we need to be accountable not just to shareholders. Shareholders are owners. Owners predominantly care about profits, dividends, and share price. We're saying with corporate social responsibility, we need to be accountable to a broader group. So we need to think about people like employees, customers, local communities, suppliers, etc. Earlier topic we did was, well, there's some advantages and disadvantages of being an ethical or socially responsible business. It's not really a part of this topic, but just as a refresher so we can discuss it and we look at some other things. What are the advantages of being an ethical or socially responsible business? Well, there's a few. You obviously have reduced wastage because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to reduce your waste and pollution and so on. But if you think about it from an economic standpoint, if you reduce waste, you've got lower costs and therefore higher profits. Another benefit is you're going to have an improved reputation and high sales. Corporate social responsibility is a thing that a lot of the media and people online, they're focused on. So if we're good at it, we're going to have a good reputation, and therefore people are going to want to buy from us. So people like to buy, consumers like to buy from businesses that are ethical. It makes them feel good too. Now, if we avoid scandals and penalties, they're usually things that happen when businesses do the wrong thing. Now, if we never do the wrong thing, and in fact we do better than the bare minimum, we're not going to have those negative stories. They hurt sales, they hurt the business, but also you can get fined. There can be fines and penalties from government agencies for businesses that are unethical. And lastly, it's a very good recruitment tool. People want to work for ethical businesses, just like consumers want to buy from them. So if we're a good business, a socially responsible business, people are going to work for us. We're going to have our choice of employees. So disadvantages, well, usually it costs more to do the right thing. If it didn't, everyone would do it. So there's got to be a reason why a lot of businesses don't do it. If you just check the papers every day, there's always a business doing the wrong thing. And that's because usually it costs more to not only sort of invest time and money, but also to train employees, buy the equipment, meet the really high standards that you set. What else is that there's production costs. So usually CSR input, so say to use a recycled material instead of one that's not recycled, that probably costs more. So if we're making soft drinks, to use recycled bottles would probably cost more than to use what's called a virgin plastic, a brand new plastic. So to do that, we're going to increase our production costs. And lastly, we could say a competitive disadvantage. What if we do the right thing as a business, but no one else does, and our competitors don't do it? And that's okay if customers notice, because then they'll buy with us. But if they don't notice and they don't care and they're not prepared to pay more for an ethical or socially responsible business, then we're going to actually put ourselves at a competitive disadvantage by doing the right thing.